Hi everyone, thank you for your interest in how I go about modifying digital page templates to prepare for December Daily. I've done this for 3 years now and I find it an extremely helpful and important step in my process. I want to begin this video by first going to the ZNO website and show you exactly why I modify my December Daily templates before December even begins. Please understand that I modified these templates for printing specifically through ZNO. I do not know if this will work for other online printing companies, but you may take this idea, do a little bit of research within that printing company that you choose, and see if you can do something similar. Here I am in ZNO, and I am going to quickly go through the process of creating a 6x8 book for my December Daily album. And this is just going to be a test book. Again, this is just to show you why I ended up modifying my page templates. So the book I select for December Daily is this lay flat photo book. So I'm going to click here, and then I'm going to come down here and select my cover, which is a hard cover. And I'm going to make my selection for the size of the book, which is a portrait 8x6. And it's going to be a flat. And then you have to have a minimum of 20 pages. So again, my 2016 December Daily book had more than 20 pages, but I am just going to drop in 20 of those pages just for an example. So I'm going to come over here and click Make Lay Flat Photo Book. And it's going to load. And then you see you have your book template page. But I want to come up here real quick to the nav bar where you have a help drop-down menu. I'm going to scroll here to guideline tips. Once you click on that, you see a dialog box and it'll explain the different solid and dashed lines that you see on the page when you are building your book. I found this very helpful and even printed it out to use as a guide while modifying my December Daily templates in Affinity Photo. Okay, so we're just going to X out of here. I'm going to quickly add some photos to this gallery here so I can place them in my photo book. So I'm going to come up here and click Photos, and I want to navigate to my 2016 December Daily Originals. I'm going to select all of these pictures and then I'm going to choose those. Now, as a reminder, the first time I used ZNO to print my December Daily albums was in 2016. When I initially created those pages, I did not modify the templates. Okay, so I still have those original pages, and those are the ones that I want to use right here as an example as to why I ended up modifying them. Okay, so I'm going to just create this test album, and just so I can show you, why I had to modify the templates. Okay, so I'm going to come down here to pages, and you can see that I have pages 1 through 20 plus a cover. And what I want to do is come back up here to layouts, and I just want to select this full page bleed layout here for my cover. Okay, and I'm just going to click and drag that over here, and then I'm just going to quickly move on through the other pages. But first I need to make sure that I'm selecting the layout that I want to use from the bottom scroll bar. So just bear with me for a few moments. Oh, it's right here. Okay, this one goes here. I'm going to quickly scroll through these pages. Right here. Coming up to 3. And finally, this is coming up on our last page. Just as a reminder, ZNO has a minimum of 20 pages for a lay flat book. So even though, you know, I'm only going through day 12 here, I'm just using this as an example to show you why I needed to change up the templates that I use. Okay, so these are all loading. And what I like about ZNO is that I can go ahead and preview what my album looks like before sending it to print. And that is done right up here in the nav bar. So I'm going to hit preview, okay? Now look what is going on here. If I was to go and send this to print, I'm going to have all sorts of issues, okay? This is because I did not modify my template, okay? Those templates that I purchased, and you know, I'm using Ali Edwards templates, and they're true 6x8 template, okay? There's nothing wrong with the template at all, okay? But because I'm getting these printed in a hardbound book, I had to tweak them a little bit. So you can see how close to the edge of my page my text is. We're going to come through a few more. Look at this. See how it's being, you know, it could be cut off here. I don't want that to happen. Okay, see, it's being cut off. So, you know, I hope you understand why I had to go through this to show you why I am modifying those templates prior to December beginning, okay? So I'm going to X out of this, and we're going to now go into Affinity Photo, and I'll show you how I modify those templates. I have Affinity Photo open, and you can see I have a bunch of project folders here on the home screen. The first thing I do is I create a new project folder by coming up here to the top, and I will tap that little plus sign. On the next screen, on the bottom row, I'm going to select New Project. Here I will just give my project a name, and I'm just going to type in December Daily, or DD for short, Modified Templates Sample, just so I don't get confused with my other modified template folders I already have going on. And then I'll tap OK. That project folder is then placed at the end of the bottom row on your home screen right here, okay? It's dark, you really can't see it, but I'm gonna tap into it. And again, I'm gonna come up here to that plus sign. And this time I want to create a new document. So I'll tap this new document icon. And on this screen, I'm going to type in the dimensions of the document that I want to create. So I'll tap on that width circle, and I'm going to create a document that is 6.5 inches in width. Tap OK. And then the height is going to be 8.5 inches. Tap OK. My DPI is correct at 300, but this down here, I want to select a transparent background. Now guys, I just want to stress once again, there is nothing wrong whatsoever with the way Ali's templates are sized. Nothing at all. They are a true 6x8. They're perfect for printing at home or sending off to Costco or wherever you have your pictures printed. I just modified the templates for printing books through ZNO, okay? And I found by setting up my document at 6.5 by 8.5, this works really well in relation to those various guidelines we saw on the ZNO book template layouts, okay? So I'm gonna tap OK at the bottom of the screen. And now you can see that I have a nice blank canvas in front of me. What I want to do is place several guidelines on this template. So I'm going to come up here into the left-hand corner. This little icon up there is called the document icon. And I'm going to tap on that, and I'll select guides from that drop-down screen. When I select that, there's a little toolbar that appears at the bottom of the screen. And I want to make sure that the show guides icon is lit up. It's blue. There's a blue circle going around it. Now I'm going to tap Add Horizontal. And when I do that, there is a dotted and dashed line that appears in the center of your screen, and it is red because it's indicating that that particular guideline is selected, okay? And when you add that guideline, you can see that the toolbar has changed as well, and it is telling you that this particular horizontal line is at a position of 4.25 inches, so it's directly in the center of your document. I'm going to do the same thing with add vertical. And now you can see I have a vertical line that has been added, okay? Now, I want to add 4 more horizontal lines. So I'm going to tap horizontal again, and you can see that there is a red line, a red active line that appears on top of the blue horizontal, okay? It might be hard to see on the screen, but it is over there. But I want to change the position of this new horizontal line I placed. So I'm going to tap that position icon, and I'm going to put in 0.25. Now watch what happens. That horizontal line has now moved to the top of the page. Let's add another one. I have a horizontal line in the center, the red one, and this one I'm going to place it at 0.5 and then tap OK. See? Let's add 2 more horizontal. Come down here, add horizontal, and this time we're going to place it at 8.25. 25, and look, it's going to place it toward the bottom. And finally, 1 more horizontal. And we're going to put this one at 8. Okay, so now we have our horizontal guideline set. Now let's add 4 vertical lines. Add vertical, and we're going to put this one at 0.25. It's going to move it over to the left. We're going to add another one, put this at 0.5. Again, it goes over there. 1 more. This time it's going to be at 6.25. And then 1 more vertical at a position of 6 inches. Okay? Now, one other thing that I like to do when I place my guidelines on here is that I do like to select lock guides, okay, just to keep them in place so they don't move around. And then also, I'm going to come back up here to that document icon, and I want to select the snapping option, and I want to make sure that I have this snap to guides toggled on right there. Okay, then I'm going to select done. I'm just going to come over here and tap my move tool to get rid of that stark red line. And just so you guys know, I want you to understand what you're looking at here. These inside lines, the lines that are closest to the center, these inside ones, these is what I consider the safe zone. So when I am creating a page in Affinity for my December daily album, I make sure that any text, any journaling that I am putting on my page is safely within these inside guidelines, okay? This outside guideline is what I consider the bleed line. So anything that comes past this, that is in this area here, from this outside line to the edge of the document, I look at that as what is going to be trimmed off, okay? Very important to understand that. Now I want to go over here to the arrow up here in the corner. And you can see I have an untitled document in my project, but I want to name this. So I'm going to come over here and tap these 3 little lines that are in the bottom right corner of that thumbnail. And I'm going to rename this just template. Okay. And then okay. I also want you to take note that Affinity does not, for their naming, I guess, they do not recognize like 6.5 or 8.5. They're going to round up. So it's, you can see here, it says that this is a 7x9 template. I want you to understand that is really the 6.5 by 8.5 template that we just created. Now I like to keep the template I just created intact. So instead of reopening this file again, I tap those three little lines in the bottom right corner and I select duplicate. Okay. Now it's time to begin to modify some of those original December daily templates. What I'm going to do is I'll come back up here to this plus sign and I'm going to open up one of Allie's templates that I have in my iCloud Drive by selecting this open from cloud. Okay. And let me just back out of here so you can see all of these different folders that I have that's related to December daily. Right here, this folder right here holds this year's collection, all of the different digital products that I purchased from this year's collection. And then all of these other folders here hold collections from years past. Okay, I've broken up all of the collections and I've organized them by the type of digital element they are. Okay, so I've got 4x4 journal cards. I've got, you know, hearts, leatherette stickers, the whole 9 yards. So I am going to scroll down here to templates and I'm going to work with one of the older templates first. So I'll come over here to the 6x8 folder and I'm going to select which template. It's this one right here. We'll do a couple of older templates first, and then I'll move on to one of the 2019 templates. Let's zoom out a little bit here. Now, if I tap on the layers icon, which is this icon right here, you can see that I've got several different layers that are in this document. I'm going to come over here on this side and tap that move tool. I'm going to drag my finger across that entire page to select all of the layers. I'll come up here to my commands icon, which is right next to the document icon, and I'm going to select pasteboard, and I want to copy all of those layers. Okay. This is all I'm going to do with this original template. So I'm going to back out of here to come to my project folder. And now I want to open up that template copy. And you're probably thinking, oh no, where are all my guidelines? But my friends, they are here. Just come back to that document icon and select guides and they will appear back on your screen. I'm going to come back over to the command icon, come to pasteboard, and now I'm going to select paste. And look at all of those layers from that other file are now into my new document. While all of these layers are selected, I'm going to move everything to the very center of my page. Come up there. And because I have snapping on, you can see how nice everything snaps to the guides. Okay. Now I'm going to just tap somewhere off of the page and all of my layers are now deselected. The next step I want to do is I want to expand the size of each of those placeholders. Okay, so I'm going to start with the green one. I'll tap on the green one and now I'm going to just take those center dots on each side of the outside edges and expand them to the outside edge of the document. I'll do the same thing with this cream color right here. And then with this chartreuse green, just like that. If I am working with a template and there's any type of word art or words on it, I do not touch those layers. I leave them intact. All I am worried about are those layers where a photo could go into. Okay, So this one is done. I'm going to back out, come back to my project folder, and just so there's no confusion, I'm going to close my original December daily template right here. Okay, so I'll tap on those three little lines and I'm going to close it. It's asking me if I'm sure I want to close. Yes, I do. And I know that that template is still in my iCloud Drive. I want to rename this template copy. And just for ease, I'll come over here to rename, and I'm just going to name it DD1. And then, okay. Let's do another one. We're going to come over here to the plus sign, open from iCloud, and let's select one. Let's see. Let's do this one right here. Okay. So again, I'm going to zoom out just a little bit. I'm going to select my move tool. I'm going to draw my finger across all of those layers. Come over here to pasteboard, select copy, and then come back into my project window. Now the template right here, I want to duplicate this. I'll open up that template copy. I'm going to turn on my guides. Let's move that out of the way. And then come over here to pasteboard and select paste. I'll select my move tool and I will move these layers to the center of my screen, and then I'll click off of those layers to deselect them. Okay, now I want to expand the outside edges of any of those solid placeholders, those solid colored placeholders. So we'll start with this white one. And it looks as though you can kind of see how this white edge is going all the way around. See how there's dots that are going all the way around those edges? So I'm just going to take those center dots and move them all the way to the edge. And now let's start at the top with this green. Okay, I'm going to select the green, and all I am moving are the sides that will be going to an edge. So like this red one only has one side that I'm going to move over. Okay, same with the yellow one, only the one side is moving over. Okay, same with the gray one. Well, no, the gray one has two, just like the green one did. Okay, that's all I'm doing with this. I'm not touching any of the word art. So I'm going to back out. I'm going to close that original one. Yes, I do want to close it. And I'm going to rename this. We're going to call this one DD2. Oh, let's see. Delete that. Caps lock DD2. Okay. Okay. Let's do one that I wouldn't call it more difficult, but one that may seem a little bit more confusing. Okay, so let's come back over here, and I'm gonna come open from iCloud, and I need to see if I put it in here. Let's see. Let's try this one. And again, I don't want to say maybe it's more confusing, but I just want to point out what I am not going to move when. Let's do one from the, I guess, 2018 collection. We'll come over here, open from iCloud, and I think I wanted to, you know what, let's do this one. Okay, this one may or may not be a little bit more involved. Let's give it a whirl. I'm going to select my move tool, select all of those layers, come to pasteboard, copy, come back to my project. I want to duplicate my template I created, and then open up that template copy and come over here and turn on my guides. Now I want to paste those layers I just copied, and I'm going to move all of this here to the center of my screen. Let's just zoom out a little bit. Okay, and then I'm going to deselect all of the layers. Let's start with the squares that we're going to be expanding. We'll start up here in the top corner, and we're just going to move those with the outside edges. Okay, we're going to do all the ones here in the corner first. Now it looks as though this white is really like a 6x8 size, just like it was in the last template we manipulated or we modified. We're just going to take all those corner edges. Okay, and then finally we have this one down here, this grayish box, and we're moving those. Okay, notice I did not do anything with that center square. Okay, we're just concerned about those boxes that have an outside edge to it. Okay, and looking at the lettering on here, I think I'm pretty comfortable with where these are sitting. You know, this is a safe zone. That, remember, this inside line here is a safe zone. But if you would feel more comfortable in moving, you know, oh, let's see, I was using my mouse on my computer and not my finger on my pad. But if you felt a little bit more comfortable and you wanted to move those items, let's see, we'll come over here to where they are touching the inside of that guideline, you know, feel free to. And then we have this line down here. So if I wanted to just squeeze those in just a little bit and then move the date in some as well, the word date. Okay, if that makes you feel better, that you know you're in the safe zone, you know, you could go ahead and do that. Okay, so I'm happy with this. I'm going to come back here. I'm going to close that original template. And then I'm going to rename the one I just modified to DD3. Okay, I want to do one more. And we'll do one from the newest collection. So I'm going to come over here. Here's my 2019 December daily. And where is the template combo pack? Let's do this one. Okay, we have a lot to manipulate in here. So I'm going to come to my move tool, select all those layers, pasteboard, copy. Back to my project folder, I will duplicate and then open that up. We're going to turn on our guides and then finally paste those layers. I'll move everything to the center of the screen. Okay? All right. And let's just begin to expand those corners or the sides. Come here. Notice I'm not touching any of those squares that are on the inside of the template because they do not have an outside edge. Okay? Again, if you feel more comfortable that you want to move any of these numbers to the inside edge of that blue guideline, you are more than welcome to. Sometimes I like to zoom in a little bit more. so I can see a little bit better and make a little better selection too. And we're gonna move, let's see, it's number 11 up. Move up number 10 and number 9. Okay. I'm happy with that. Come back over here and we're going to close that original. And then we'll just rename this one to DD4. Okay. Now that you know how to modify those templates, we're going to go back into ZNO and I'm going to start a new album with the modified versions of the pages from 2016. Okay, I am back here at zno.com and I have two separate windows open. I opened it twice in my browser just so I can show you side-by-side comparison of that first book that I created where the templates were not modified, which is right over here. And then to save time in the video, I went ahead and I created the book with the modified templates, those same pages. So you can see already on the front cover how much better this side is fitting than this one right here. And as a reminder, I'm in the preview mode for the book here. I would have probably gone back and shrunk this down a little bit in the file itself before I uploaded it, but it's fine. It printed fine. So let's come over here to the next page. And you can see, as soon as this one pulls up, look at how much more space now I have for the lettering at the top of the page, and then also you can see the difference here on the side. Okay, let's keep moving along so you can see a couple of other differences. Oh, that page is backwards. Shouldn't be like that, but I don't know why it's looking like that. That's weird. Anyways, before earlier, in the earlier example, this text here was, these pages got swapped somehow, but this text here was very, very close to the edge, and now we have a little bit more breathing room. We'll move on. Again, right here, up. Look at how close to the edge our number 3 is, and now we have more space. So as a reminder, this is the book with the modified templates, and even here, where this Mele Kalikimaka little graphic here, it's not being cut off anymore. Let's move on. We could already see a difference between the 5. Look at here, we've got more space. And then here's St. Pete Boat Show. It's more brought in. And this is all because I just took some extra time and modified the templates. Page 6. Again, close to the edge. Now we have more breathing room. This one here, we have more space at the top and at the side. And again, look at this. Now, this particular image here, the graphic itself, the words were supposed to bleed off the edge, but it wasn't supposed to bleed off as much like you see here. And plus the 8 was being cut off. Look at the Mary down here. So this is just it just looks much better. Let's quickly move on because I know this video is long. I really appreciate you guys hanging in there with me. But just taking this extra step can help lessen the frustration at the end when you go to print your album. Okay, again, more space, more border space. Now, some of these templates that Allie has, like for this one, this particular template, the original template did not bleed off to the border. It did not go off the side. So that is why it is not going to the edge. So you would have to look at those templates closely and see which ones that you would want to modify and bring those edges to bleed off the template. This particular template did not have that, so I wanted to keep it the way it was supposed to be. It's taking its own sweet time, and this is the last one, the 12 cups. Oh, wait a minute. Did I not? There, okay. Again, look at down here, the number 10, the word yum, it's being cut off here, and where now we have it, more breathing room. Same with celebrate the joy of December, it's not being cut off on the edge. And then the final page here, page 12, these again, the template itself wasn't meant to go off the edge, and actually this isn't even one of Allie's templates. This is something that I created on my own, but I wanted that space. I did not want these things to bleed off the edge. I hope you found modifying templates for printing with ZNO helpful. If you guys have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comment section on the blog, and I will be more than happy to get back with you and help you out as much as I can. I appreciate your interest in creating December daily pages using your mobile device and apps. Thank you for watching.